Hello everyone from Kora. This is the Vyansh Mundra, and this message is a special one. How I conquered crippling introversion. The clip which you just saw, that was the very first video that I had uploaded on YouTube. I think it was 2017. I was 20 years old when I recorded that clip, and that's the very first public video that I've shared in my life. If you can see the difference, I think it's pretty obvious apart from the beard and everything else. But I was a shy 20-year-old guy at the time, and I was just coming out with my very first novel. And because I was self-publishing it, I had to market it. I created that video, I put it out on YouTube, and I shared it with my Quora family. And that was the very first time my followers heard my voice or saw my face in a video. So looking back, of course, it's pretty embarrassing, but I think that video marks the point in my life when I decided that I need to get out of my shell and just get out of all these things which are holding me back. So I'm quickly going to tell you guys how I got over my crippling introversion. My experience with introversion, the classic example of an introvert, that's me. Shy guy, barely interacting with anyone, excusing himself away from social situations, just rushing in the room and digging his head in this world of books. Now looking back, I realized while all the happy things that there were, I missed out on some things which I should have done, like participating in debates and extempores back in school, or participating in a drama or a play, or just even like putting my works, my writings out there in the public. I was so shy that I would be super secretive and guarded of whatever I was writing. The first thing which I realized was that most of my introversion stemmed from my own perception of how other people were perceiving me. So I used to be very reserved because of it, and I would never fully express myself. The very first thing that I had to get out of my mind was that most of the time I was wrong about what people were thinking about me. The girl was interested in you, but you were shy enough that you never ran after her or asked her out. And she'll tell that to you months after that had happened, and the ship has sailed by then. And as is the case for most introverts, we never truly get to our potential, or we underestimate ourselves. And the very first thing which you, if you are an introvert, should get out of your mind is that people are not always thinking about you. You're not the center of the universe. So just go out and try to be true to yourself. That's the very first thing that you can do. Don't try to be like someone. Just be you. That sounds such a bland advice, but it truly matters a lot. Second thing which worked. The thing with me was that when I speak in Hindi, when I talk in Hindi, I mumble a lot because there are times when I speak really fast and I won't open my mouth as wide as I'm trying to right now. And I never realized that until I started looking in the mirror and just speaking to myself. And it's a very good exercise if you want to become a public speaker, or if you just want to improve your speech. You look in front of a mirror and just talk about something. Okay, let's say you watched a good movie today. Come back home in the night, go before a mirror, stand and start summarizing the movie, what happened, what didn't happen. First thing you'll notice is that you are talking like a robot, which you should not. So right now I'm looking around, I'm not just staring at the camera, I'm moving my hands, I'm modulating my voice a bit. When you're looking in front of a mirror and speaking to yourself, that is the time when you'll realize such things. Which matters a lot. So this exercise, it's very important in building your confidence. It's also a way in which I come up with stories. So if I'm writing a novel and I'm stuck somewhere, I'll just go stand before a mirror and start narrating the story to myself and observe myself, my expressions. And one thing will happen, that the story will come in my head. Secondly, I'll gauge myself and I'll analyze the things I'm doing right, the things I'm doing wrong. if I'm speaking fast, or if I'm speaking too slow, or if I'm not moving my eyes around, or if I'm not just being animated, or if I'm not modulating my voice, these things matter. Even if you don't want to become a public speaker, even if it's just talking with people, with friends, going on your first date, these things matter a lot. You don't want to go on your first date and sit like, will you have coffee? Sugar? Two? Black coffee? Oh yeah, I had a great day. How was your day? You get the gist. Next thing, sharing. And this is something which is very specific to authors and which was very personal to me. I used to write good. I won't say it was the greatest piece of content, but I used to write things. I never shared them with anyone. I credit Quora for changing my life because it gave me a platform where I could share my stories with thousands of people, millions of people now. So once I started sharing things around, and again, this is very specific to authors, when I started sharing my stories, as writers, stories are at the bottom of your heart. They're very close, okay? If you read my works, especially if you read my novels, you will get into the psyche of the author because we draw a lot of things from our personal experiences. So if I'm writing a bad date, yes, 80% of it will be fictional, but there's going to be 20% truth over there. In Gangs of Bombay, the second last chapter, I wrote it in 3 or 4 hours, and it's one of my favorite chapters. It's one of the quickest writing that I've ever done. The thoughts which I've written in that chapter, that's exactly what I feel, word to word. It's so true to my heart. So if people have read that chapter, they know where my vision stems from. They know where my goals are. They know why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, why I'm trying this, or being an author, or sharing my stories around. That allowed me, when I started sharing my works online, that was the most guarded part of my life, and all of a sudden I'm sharing it with thousands of people, and all of a sudden the world wasn't scary anymore. And I think that was one of the major reasons how I lost my shyness and just holding myself back and just not enjoying or going out. Once you remove that baggage, once the thing that is closest to your heart is out there, nothing can stop you, honestly. So now I do whatever I feel like. Now it's what I want, and I'm gonna do it. That's it. It's a beautiful thing to share the things which are closest to your heart, and it opens you. Okay, one golden step: observing other speakers, other actors. Most of my teenage years, I didn't make much social interactions, but I watched a lot of movies and I read a lot of books. I could see the characters talking. In the movies, I could see the characters talking. That's not how normal people talk. But if we were to meet ever, and if we are strangers and we are making a conversation, I'm gonna try, because right now I'm writing screenplays and I'm writing novels. I make these characters in my head converse with each other all the time. So my conversations happen along the same way. So at one point I was really into this TV show called Sherlock. If you would have spoken with me at the time, I would come across as a very cocky, arrogant guy who's just trying to show off. If you read my Quora answers from that point, that's actually the very first image of mine, what people formed on Quora. I'm not cocky as such, I think so. I'm not arrogant at all. But because I was watching Sherlock so much at the time, and I was writing about Sherlock so much at the time, those qualities just automatically came up in my conversations, in my writings. So if I'm gonna go and give a TED talk tomorrow, a week before that, I'm gonna see lots of TED talks, and I'm gonna focus on one whose presentation style is amazing, and I'm gonna focus on that guy, watch his videos again and again and again, and the things will automatically come to me. The movements, the voice, the eyes, the words, the manner of speaking, smiling. There are a lot of things. Observing people if you can, that's a great thing, but you're going to come across as a creep, because you cannot just go to a cafe and look at this gorgeous girl across, and when she comes up to slap you, you cannot just say that I'm just observing you because I want to learn movements and conversations or anything else. But watching characters from movies, or watching just YouTube videos of these speakers, it's a brilliant way to become better at the art of making conversations. Which brings me to one of the most innovative things that I've done in my life. When I started going out and making new friends, or first dates, stuff like that, the scary things, I made a list. Because I realized one thing quite early: people like to talk about themselves all the time. So if you're on a date with a gorgeous girl, you don't have to do much. Even if you ask 10 questions, tell me about your family, she's gonna ramble on for 10 minutes just talking about her family. If she mentions a dog, oh, what kind of a breed is the dog? And she's gonna start talking about the dog. I've literally made an hour-long, 2-hour-long conversations where I barely spoke for like 20-25 minutes, and it was just breeze. So I had a list of the things you could say. So you could start talking about the family, or the education, or whatever he or she is pursuing, or ambitions, goals. People always like to talk about their dreams. There are a lot of things. If you guys are movie buffs, it's awesome. If you find a similar interest, people are good to go. If you can't and you just have to go through the conversation, there's an entire list you can prepare, that I'm going to ask this, then this, then this, then this, then this. Okay, just keep it in your mind, just pointers, and you just start asking about that. So if she's talking about her family, how great her father is. Okay, tell me more about your father. What kind of a business does he do? She starts talking about the business. Say something related to XYZ, then start talking about XYZ. The art of making conversation is very simple. You just put across questions. Just speak up a little stuff. Oh, I felt this. My father does this. But that part about whatever you're speaking about, just catch something from the conversation, whatever he or she is speaking, and throw it off on a tangent, and they are gonna continue ramble on. It works for me fantastically. Now I do it all the time, and it has helped me very much, especially in social situations. Awesome thing to do. Just make your own list. I have a Quora answer. If I find it, I'll put it in the description box. Regarding the fear of public speaking, visualization works fantastically. Before I went to give a TED talk, like that was the first time I was walking on a real stage, giving a real talk in front of so many people. So the homework began a month before the talk. Okay, so as I was preparing my speech, as I was editing stuff out, I asked the organizers to send me pictures of the hall where I'll be giving the talk, and it was a double-decker thing. It's like a theater where people can go for plays. There were lots of seats up here, there, and I knew where the cameras are going to be. I knew where the people are going to be. So when I was visualizing the talk in my head, I would just be there, and I would look around, and I made this thing in my head. I'm going to spot one guy towards my right. I'm going to spot another guy towards my left. And during the entire conversation, I'm just going to go from this to this, Visualization helped me a lot, because when I went on stage, I was not nervous at all. And it's something that was really surprising to me also. If you conquer fear, everything becomes so easy. Whether it's speaking on a stage, whether it's asking someone out, whether it's a complicated relationship in your family, if you're having a fight with someone and you need to resolve it, and you will have the guts to just go and walk up and just speak. Hope this video helped you guys. It was something which was very personal to me, and I just had to put it out there now. If you're an introvert and if you're going through things, if it's something specific, just drop it in the comments and I'll reply to you guys. Stay around the space, enjoy more stories, stuff on writing, other things coming up. Bye.